Yeah.
Oh, we do have all
Well,
that.
I don't know if you can save in your recorder. I don't know if that is.
We just took them back. So.
Yeah.
Can I just sit here?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit. That sounds very much.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, grab some food and then we're gonna start. There's lots of rice, so. Eat some rice.
I did bring baggies for take home.
Good.
Don't leave without a bag.
This is my baggie of rice. I bring it with me.
Okay, we're gonna start our meeting for tonight. I'm filling in for Phil. So just to go on that the meeting is being recorded by Sammy over there. Is there anyone online?
No.
No, no one online? All right, sweet. We're doing the pledge of allegiance real quick to this lovely flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So most of the announcements will be me and Marissa, so I'm just gonna sit here. No one's running virtually, so we'll go quick through this. Phil started something the last meeting about a trivia question, so don't use your phones. But here is the trivia question for tonight. It's what car did Ford first unveil on April 17th, 1964?
Mustang.
I'm gonna go with that. That was really nice. I was really confident. I'm gonna trust that.
Mustang.
Okay, so some of the announcements, this week is mobile meals, so thanks for those that are helping. Spencer has a couple dates. Jenny's going tomorrow. If anyone else still wants to help out, you still can do that, and I guess we still need someone for Sunday. So it's pretty quick and easy. You can go with a friend.
Side note about the mobile meals, I think a couple of us might be free, so if someone is new that hasn't done mobile meals before, that would like to follow along with someone, that's definitely an option. Just let me know, or, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, I just wanted to give everybody, especially a shout out to Pete, Brad, Neil, Brandon's not here. They spent 3 full Saturdays. Many of you guys were there for one or more of the Saturdays. The greenhouse is 99% done. Brad, feel free to chime in with anything that you want. It's really amazing, you guys. It's really pretty. Excited for the kids. They're so excited to get in there and start growing stuff. Their plant sale is the 10th and the 11th. So this was pictures from last Saturday. It was snowing again. I'm like, why is it Saturdays I go? It's freezing, but that's okay. So again, thank you to everybody that made that happen. It's pretty cool. They'll be putting together the final report to submit for our district foundation grant. And save the date because on Thursday, May 9th, we're gonna have an official ribbon cutting dedication. There'll be a 10-minute, 15-minute program. And hopefully the Franciscan sisters will be there and they can do their blessing. If you haven't seen that, it's really heartwarming. And officially do the ribbon cutting. If you can come, wear your Rotary gear. We're gonna invite the news to be there that night. And then Mariah is going to do a little demonstration with I can't remember what she said, something about transplanting plants. So it should be fun. It'll be quick, easy. Probably you're in and out in 30 to 45 minutes, but it'd be really great if we could have a great presence there for that. There will be some kids, and then the very next day is the greenhouse sales. So hopefully the news can promote it and they can get a lot of sales to support the ongoing efforts of the greenhouse. And we had so much fun volunteering at bingo a couple weeks ago, which we got $500. And then we collectively, whoever was at that meeting, decided to pay it forward to New Horizons. So stay tuned for more information on that. We're working on a service project where we can spend that money and do a volunteer project for New Horizons, but we're gonna actually go back and we're gonna play bingo. There's options and those that were selling daughters and whatnot with me. That night you can do a pack for $10. I think that's probably the cheapest option if you want to play all the games. You can do 2 packs for $20, 3 packs for $30, additional cards for $1 each. But it should be really fun. Mario said he'd save a table or 2 for us, so if you can RSVP on the, I don't know where to RSVP yet, probably Club Runner will send out an invite. Then we just have to gauge how many people are coming. You can come and go, you don't have to stay for the whole time, but it should be fun. A way to support them for supporting us. And I think that's all for me.
Oh, you'll be back. Okay, so, this is just for the Holman Club. They do their service auction, which is a lot of fun. Some of you have gone, and bid on the huge cakes, and it's like a fun old time. They did have a date change, so now it's on May 10th. So if you can go, there's a sign up sheet over at the table. But yeah, it's just kind of great to help other clubs with their projects too. How about you? Alicia?
Oh, yeah, Alicia.
Oh,
Yeah, so Monday meals, that's coming up, I guess I could probably say. Coming up on Monday and then May 13th, so yeah, it'll be a busy week, that May 8th, 9th, 10th, yada, yada, yada. And then, so that's at Trinity, where Phil, works at, and then, so it's in the basement, and we do meals from 4 to 6 PM, you're packaging up everything. And they send it upstairs, so there's workers upstairs, but we do the packaging up of the food down in the basement for all of the folks who come and get those meals. And then for Adopted Highway Cleanup, that's our stretch of highway that we have out by the golf course, Forest Hills, I think it's called, Fox Hollow. And so that's, we pretty much, we show up with the vests and, we take bags and walk down. I think it's like a half mile, so some of us get dropped at the end, some get dropped halfway, we all meet back.
and you're back.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I'm done.
So this is a message from Phil. He recorded a video of his experience at Tricon. Let me just turn the volume up.
Greetings, everyone. I really wish I could be with you this evening at our gathering over at UWL, but I know that you were all in very good hands, and I wish you all the best for this evening. So blessings to you all, and you are missed. It was a great day at Tricon, and I learned so much and had some incredible conversations, and especially rewarding to meet a lot of the youth exchange of this year, and of course, some that will be leaving for next year. And it has increased in numbers. I'll get into more of that later. First of all, at our business meeting, Michelle McGrath gave a wonderful state of the district. There will be 4 friendship exchanges this year. I guess that's been unheard of. Next visit expressed that the district's ability for fellowship and connections has been so strong, and she's really felt welcome and blessed with being able to get to all the clubs. And she specifically told me how grateful she was and impressed she was with Rotary After Hours in La Crosse. She also mentioned how DEI is high on the district level with women and minorities serving. We also agree with partnerships, especially with NAMI and AMI, I believe, with the mental health initiative, which is so important. And of course, the storytelling to get Rotary's message out into the public. And especially impressive is that Chris Farley's brother has been speaking at different clubs to talk about mental health. Another amazing thing was the keynote speaker during our lunch today, and it was Chris Carr, the director of.
I would take that photo.
He had such an amazing resume. It was just incredible to hear what he had to say as dealing as a mental health professional with professional athletes. And one of the things he spoke about was, these drafted players coming right out of college some of them have such high expectations put on them with family and friends and the community and their universities they came from. And actually, many of them will never play a game in the NFL, and what a dream that is on them. And then even through just the camp that we have, that he works with every individual new player that comes into the system. And then another one was the feedback that a lot of these athletes receive on social media. And just imagine some of the stuff that we personally ourselves deal with day in and day out. Never mind having the world bash you if you miss a catch or drop a ball. And then there's the injuries that some of these players will receive. They're making millions of dollars, and within a split second, they're on the injured list, and they have to deal with this. They have to go through recovery, and then again, hear people's feedback about them. And it was just really interesting to do, how does that translate into our own lives? The expectations that we put on ourselves, that is put on us by other people, and how do we work with this in our lives, and how do we take away the stigma of mental health? So yeah, that was just very interesting to see how we will continue as Rotary to think about that and to help create hope in this world. Now, in closing, I just want to thank you all for being there tonight for this meeting, as you will be going through the review of the strategic planning again. And I just want to share this, from my heart, that this is so important for the future of the club. And I wish I could be there with you. But again, in closing, that, at the Tri-Con, we talked about how awesome it's going to be to have Rotary International Conference to be in Minneapolis and then in Chicago in the next several years. So I'll leave you with this, that please make it a point to do your best to come to these conferences. You get to meet so many Rotarians from across the district, the 2 other districts, and again, in Minneapolis and Chicago, from the world, knowing that we are trying to create hope in this world together. It's a team effort, and know that you are all loved. And again, blessings to you all, and have fun.
Okay, so I put a disclaimer out here earlier. This is gonna be very casual. It's gonna be very interactive, low key, so. That said, so many of us were here, I think a good portion of us were here in February and brainstormed the original ideas. And now tonight, we're gonna refine them and prioritize and try to wheedle down to what we really wanna focus on. They're all really great ideas, but we can't do everything. We're volunteers. We're here in our free time. So we wanna focus on what we think we can do that will move the needle for our club and for Rotary in the region and across the world, actually. So just a reminder, this is Rotary's vision statement. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and in ourselves. Rotary's core values are fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. These are the same core values from when Rotary was founded in 1905. A few years ago, Rotary came up with a strategic plan, and they said there's 4 priorities that we want to focus on and we want our clubs to focus on. That's increasing our impact, expanding our reach, enhancing participant engagement, and increasing our ability to adapt. So we did a plan in 2020. It was pretty extensive, and this is kind of a refresher of that plan, because why recreate the wheel when we have the framework already there. But this was our 2020 plan that lasted a few years. We accomplished a lot and didn't meet all of our goals, but we did a lot, and I think we have a lot to be proud of. So if you want, did the links get sent out?
I can send it out right
Okay,
now.
so Alyssa's gonna be sending out all the Padlet links, so if you have your computer or if you don't, you can scan the QR code with your phone. Either one would work. But essentially, I took the SWOT that we came up with and we actually prioritized that SWOT in the February meeting and highlighted some of the top strengths, the top weaknesses, the top opportunities, and the top threats. Top strengths, and the number behind is how many people heard it, so they prioritize, like, I agree, I think that's one of our strengths. So the top strength was that we're action oriented, we're out in the community with a presence of getting things done. I just have to put a side note in. I got an email from Wayne Oliver, our assistant governor, who is a Rotary member in La Crescent, and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know that I nominated Rotary After Hours for the League of Ridiculous. If you've heard of that, because what better group to nominate than Rotary After Hours? And I'm like, oh my gosh, now we have, you know, if we happen to randomly get selected, we're gonna have to come up with like a $9,000 project to pitch, because I think that's what's at stake. And then the other two projects get like 1,700. So, I mean, it's cool that we're looked at like that. He didn't nominate his own club, he nominated us. So another strength was the variety of engagement options through service, through social, everything that we offer. I always say, I think Rotary After Hours model is the best because, you know, maybe like, I'll pick on you stuff, like you like Rotary for the social aspect. And other people might like it, like Brad, you came to fencing, or you came to Rotary through Riverfest fencing, like service is important to you. And so there's something for everybody. Maybe it's networking and coming to meetings like this. And there's no attendance requirements. It's great when we have people show up, but I think that's one of the nice things about After Hours is there really is a variety that we try to provide for everybody. Somebody mentioned meeting in the evening. That's a perk for a lot of people that are working and can't get here during the day. And then there's a core group of dedicated individuals that get things done. And I look out here and I'm like, you guys are that core group of individuals that get things done. Some of the weaknesses that were brought up was the lack of committee involvement. Our committees are really pretty low pressure, low commitment. So if you're not a part of one, join one, because your insights and your opinions and ideas are so important. There is a potential burnout that is high. I think this was something that we heard 3 years ago, and it's just an ongoing issue. Only 20% of RAH members show up. So we have an opportunity to increase that attendance. And programs that attract people, make people want to attend meetings and not miss out. Some of the opportunities was leveraging district and higher Rotary resources, putting together an employer sponsorship package for RAH membership, partner with other community organizations, maybe that's on service projects or bigger projects, and then working with other Rotary clubs to gain new members. Some of the threats, and I listed more here because I was reading through some of them and they were of concern to me, and I think it's important to bring those forward because if you don't talk about them, you can't improve anything. So some of the threats: burnout of core group, decreasing membership, change of culture in the world. People don't want to commit. You've heard Rick Kite say there's less and less volunteerism going on. Historical knowledge transferred. Do we have a better job of transferring that knowledge from Rotary to Rotary year to Rotary year and board to board and membership to membership? Club culture and environment could potentially affect membership. Do we need to look at our culture and change things and tweak things to make it more inviting? Old ways to attract new members will need to change. Can we think of new ways to attract members to bring them in? Any thoughts on this before I proceed forward? That was the synopsis from February. Good ideas. If not, I'll move forward. Next slide. Okay. So again, these are the QR codes. You'll see them again in just a minute when we get to the specific ones. If you have your phone, this is the board you want to bring up now, or if you're on your computer, you want to bring up that new member recruitment QR code or the link. Everybody, give me a thumbs up if you have the board up either on your phone or your computer. All right, now, Ashley and I were like, working hard at work one day. And I was like, can we walk through this? And we, I don't know if oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So I'm gonna try to zoom out. Ideally, we'd see these all on one page, but it's, I mean, is that too small or can you see it? Okay, so essentially we want to prioritize the ideas that got generated. Hopefully we've got all the ideas on there that you guys have thought of. The email went out to add ideas. I think Nathan, you took advantage of that. But we're gonna start with, this first question. We're gonna not do this one, but we're gonna focus on where do we find diverse future retirees? This could be professional diversity. It could be backgrounds, ethnicities, ages, you name it. And there's a bunch of ideas that got generated below. And if you get 3 votes per column or 3 stars. You're gonna go through the list, read through them. I'll give you a couple minutes to read through the list of ideas under this column. Just focus on this one for now. If I could cover those, I would. And you're gonna star next to, you see this star here? There's a star on each card. You get 3. Don't do more, just 3, huh?
It's a heart.
Oh, it's a heart. What did I say, star? Okay. So star it if you think that that's one that we really should focus on. And go after finding future members for our club. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'll give you like 5 minutes to read through all those. Don't feel rushed. Just look up or whatever when you're done and we'll go from there. Also, don't let other numbers like the star or the heart numbers going up, don't let that influence your decision. Like think what really is meaningful to you and vote based on what you feel. Also, if anybody needs a laptop, I have 2 extra. If you need something. It's holler.
Yeah, we sort every time somebody.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys.
Popularity goes to top.
Okay, hold on, let me try to change it. Like I told you, we're winging it here. Sort by
The
full subject.
subject, yep. Full subject, yep.
I'm sorry, I won't change it. until the end. If you get an extra vote, that's okay. You won't cut your hand off on this one. Three per column.
Yeah, but are we going on one or all?
On just the first one. Are you guys done with that, Colin? Yeah? Okay, so then we can move on to the next one. I think this will go pretty fast, so, the next one we wanna prioritize are ways to be the club everybody wants to join. So you get 3 for that one too.
So we get 3 for the column?
Yeah. This one we're not focusing on, but 3 for this one and 3 for this.
Okay.
I don't do well with silence, I'm sorry. Is that quiet enough?
Yeah.
How'd that one go? Good? Okay, just tell me if I need to speed it up. All right, so let's see what, everybody done before I do the sorting? Okay. You're good, just holler when you're ready. Good? All right, so where are we gonna go find more people to join us? Top one was colleges and universities, employers, and promoting our club activities better, make it a part of our identity. So example, after hours is the greenhouse club instead of Rotary lights only. Anybody want to comment or add any color to that? No?
If we're, for the college and university one,
Yep,
if we're finding less volunteerism, with younger groups, why are we focusing on the area where it's worse? Or like less? I guess would be my first question if we're trying to focus our efforts.
it's a good point. Maybe we can instill hope in them.
I don't disagree, but like, in my mind, there's a lot they're worried about right now,
Yeah,
and I don't know if going and helping people like rake their yards for like Neighbor Day is gonna be their top priority. Not saying that it isn't for some, just they're still trying to figure out who they are, and stuff, they work.
they need volunteering for school. Steph?
Okay, for college university, I think when we kind of discussed this, would be more like the MBA programs, the graduate programs at UWL, the Turbo. Ones that have like diversity amongst them, not just younger college kids.
Okay, I'm just gonna make notes so we have it in here. Macy.
I feel like I can share some perspective because I just graduated from a doctorate program 6 months ago, and there's like that's probably one of the last things that's on my mind is like volunteering and stuff like that, just because there's so many other things that I'm working on, like finding a job and studying for certain tests that you have to take to pass or get licensed or things like that. That's just like, there's no time for anything else. So maybe not even like trying to target those people, although yes, those people would probably be the first people that I would think maybe would, but like their course load and everything else that they're doing is just so intense that I don't know if it's like even an option.
I think that's true for just life in general,
Yes.
whether you have a family and kids that you're raising, and it's just about balance for that particular person.
What about the employer bucket? Tell me more about this one, like what employers come to mind that are opportunities? Employers is pretty broad. So
I love this one, because I think on our squad, it had like build a package for employers, and I think of like the best of lacrosse list, and maybe we would take the number one and all the best of lacrosse and send them a package, like we are Rotary After Hours, we are super cheap, and your people can like give back to the community and highlight your business and doing good for the community through this group. I don't know, that's just an idea of how do you narrow down where to send them, but you would think those like best of lacrosse people would be maybe interested in saying, hey, I can pay it $150, it's like whatever.
Buy that sort of
Nothing.
advertising.
Huh?
It's totally, you can't buy that sort of advertising. That's
Right.
totally right. I mean, they pay for 1, 2 members to be members of the club, whatever it may be. But I think also having a list, just from an employer perspective, having a list of the employers that are represented in this club as part of that packet.
Would you
There-
do employers or like industries?
I would do employers. I think it provides a little bit of, competitions. I mean, gamification competition is the word. I mean, if they see, if there's 3 banks on our list and there's another big bank in town that doesn't have someone here in the club, they're gonna find a young person to represent them in the club. We've got 50 members. I mean, I don't think there's too many of us that work at the same places, so it's gonna be a pretty extensive list. And I'll tell you, if they came to me as an employer and said, hey, here's who's represented our club, I would find that perfect person in our company to be, join that club. Do it here, here's what you can do, or as part of their hiring process as well. Like, hey, we encourage you to join this awesome group of people. I mean, new hires in this area, let's be honest, a lot of people are lost when they get to lacrosse. This provides almost a second home. for them. And there's a lot of Rotary clubs in lacrosse, which unfortunately, I mean, that works against all of us. But for young people, I mean, I think there's pretty much one obvious answer. We've taken enough people from other clubs that come into this club because of our mentalities that I think it'd be an easy sell.
Brad,
So I was surprised when I joined the Rotary. I didn't really understand what Rotary was. Train is one of the largest employers in this city. And I only know of one other train employee that isn't really prepared. And train actually will provide us, we can, support through our volunteer hours, and we get like $250 a quarter, where if we volunteer like it's 10 hours, I think every quarter, we get $250 to donate to someone. That's a non-for-profit organization. So there are organizations like Train out there that are really emphasizing volunteerism and being part of your community. So approaching companies to say, hey, we are a club that is looking for members. I don't know how we do that, but I mean, like Pete here is a fellow coworker here. And Pete, what appealed to you when I approached you to say, hey, come help me out with this greenhouse?
Well, I was doing stuff as part of it and enjoy that process, but I also amended friends, so. It's true, but it's not totally.
What do you do now?
I thought it was a neat opportunity. I like volunteering. I think it was a really great time in my life where, you know, my kids are old enough now where they do kind of their own thing. And, it's just, I have more opportunities to be out with people.
So, I mean, there's guys like Pete all through all these companies in this community that we gotta, you know, let them know that we're out here, because I don't think people know that these opportunities are here. I don't know how to do that well.
Yeah, my vision of Rotary was, you know, my dad was in Rotary for a couple of years, but it was like, you know, suit and tie and that kind of. I didn't.
Brandon was here, he was.
I realized like it would be.
I think back to when the core group of us first started this club, when we got announced at, I forget which, was it the district conference or someplace else? The fact that we were flipping the tables on what Rotary was in a lot of people's minds was the big attractive thing. And I don't think we brag enough about that. I mean, bragging came up in another column over here. But we're not the standard. I mean, if you ask someone randomly about Rotary, they're like, are those people who sing and who sing downtown at RAH? I mean,
Or the Rotary lights.
that are Rotary lights. It's the one thing they're associated with. And we flipped that completely here at the end of this club.
I was wearing my Rotary shirt when I was traveling. We were down in Florida and we're at a restaurant and a guy looked at me and said, "Aren't you too young to be in Rotary?" I said, "No."
But that's the stigma that we're up against in terms of membership. So I mean, the more we brag about the cool things we're doing, I mean, not that meetings aren't awesome and things like that, but it's not what drives me. For me, being there building the greenhouse or cleaning up the highway even, or one of those things, those are the things that really drive me to be there and make me choose to want to spend my time in Rotary versus other stuff.
Super ties into the next one.
Yeah, so for the sake of time, I'm gonna move us.
Can I say one thing also? The way I got into Rotary is I was introduced to it by my boss, and the only reason I could afford it was that my employer covered the cost of the dues and I paid meeting fees when I first started. And I feel like that was in another comment was, we're great because we have low costs of meetings. Even if that is a threshold, reaching out to employers and saying, hey, if you have young people, you want them to stay at your company, sponsor them in our club, benefit for the employer, benefit for us, benefit for the employee.
Yeah.
I'm misspeaking and I shouldn't say this, but from the bottom of my heart, if anybody ever comes up with financial hardships and they're like, I can't pay these dues, please come talk to me. I know there's people in this club that would financially cover you until you need to get by and you're on that other side. We've talked about doing scholarships, so I never want money to be a deterrent for people leaving. So before you make that decision, reach out to me or whoever you feel comfortable with and let's talk, because you're all super valuable and we don't want to lose anybody.
And that's great for people who are already members, but people who are checking it out and just like dipping
Right,
their toe
yep.
in. Financial aspects could be a hurdle they're trying to jump on.
Totally.
If we can get the employers to cover that, that takes it off us.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so ways the club everybody wants to join, demonstrating the fun we have when we get to service events, socials and meetings. I try to post and our public image team tries to post as much as we can on social media, but always need more ideas or more people sharing or fresh ideas on how we can share that fun. So please send those ideas to Public Image Way and we'll do everything we can to show that. We need to revitalize the meetings, occasionally break away from current format. Social announcements business. Somebody put, I think quarterly offsite meetings are fun, also worth exploring further ways to mix it up from time to time. And then boost social media posts, wins, accomplishments, tag people, pay boosts, members share. And then keeping costs low. And those are the top 4 there. So we got about 15 minutes and we've got 3 more boards to prioritize. So we're gonna like go faster through these, but that was really good conversation. Membership is the heart of our club and is the most important thing. You guys are the most important. So I'm totally fine spending that amount of time on that. So the next one We're gonna come back to this if we have time, but the next one is gonna be again on member engagement and retention. And the Padlet is gonna open. The ones that we're gonna prioritize and are gonna be things we can do that would knock my socks off or keep me coming back to Rotary. Like, what are you gonna get FOMO over? And wanna make sure you're there. And then the next one, if you finish this one, is types of activities I wouldn't wanna miss out on. The content that was generated, it's not necessarily like apples and apples. Some of them are a little bit, but just do the best you can. And we'll just prioritize these two, 3 for each one again. And I'll give to 6:45, so 4 minutes, unless you need more time than that.
Which are the ones you want us to prioritize first?
This one, the ones with the stars, in case you, I mean, you're welcome to do all of them, but we had to whittle it based on time constraints. How are we doing? Still need more time? Okay, I'm just gonna briefly highlight, is everybody done before I resort these? Brad looks like he's still studying.
We got two more to go.
You good there, Brad?
I'm done.
All right, all right, so. I think this one was actually listed a couple times, so we can merge those, but it's interesting to me because this one, we had update meeting style, and that's why we kind of shifted to the style we have now. So now maybe we're going back to how we did it, and that's fine, like priorities and preferences change. But updating that meeting style, announcements could be shortened. If I can read it, it doesn't need to be spoken, 2 to 3 questions that can be discussed during the social portion. Social time should be more integrated and intentional in meetings, a member spotlight. All great ideas, love it. It was nice when separate members had a different task. So as a greeter, somebody did an announcement, somebody thanked the speaker. So incorporating members into the different pieces. And encouraging members to write a newsletter, what's going on in their lives. Add a slide showcasing member accomplishments or life updates. Members would be responsible for sending in advance. And then it looks like this one had 6 offsite meetings without virtual option, helps add engagement in person, and schedule quarterly family nights or events. And then the types of activities they won't want to miss out on: touring buildings, speed dating to get to know fellow members. This could be something fun to do once a year for a meeting, for sure. I like it. And let's see, offsite meetings and a game night meeting at different members' workspaces, day in the life social event. So that would be membership engagement. We're running out of time, so we're gonna keep plugging along. The next one is service. And the ones that we're gonna prioritize here are the volunteer events that I've enjoyed the most, that you've enjoyed in the past. These might be ones you want to do again. And then as volunteer activities, ideas that excite me for the future. Oh, yep, I'm sorry. Let me go back. Did you get it?
Yeah, but it's reminding me of something.
Oh. So I'll give you like 4 or 5 minutes for this one, and then we'll go to foundation. And I wish I had another hour to plug through this, but we'll make sure we get out of here on time. I know. I mean, you can start all the ones you like, because. Okay. These are obviously going to drive our service committee and what they plan for us in the future. If there's not something on there that you want to add, you can, it just probably won't get prioritized. And you can do that by clicking the plus button and then adding your note in.
Don't send out all the events at once. That's me.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I had high stuff on there, but I deleted that.
I mean, that one I know, but I had lots of time that day, so that was that.
This is a hard one, because I like a ton of these too. I'm just not. It's a one. How you guys doing? Good, done?
Only one time in that.
Spencer,
Yeah.
Liz? You guys good? Okay, I'm gonna sort them. The most fun part. Sweet. Okay, so Ashley will be glad to see ugly sweater. Was one of the most enjoyed pastimes here.
Thank you, actually. I'll let them in.
Oktoberfest bartending in general is fun. Service events where people being impacted are present. Like Boys and Girls Club meal, Eagle Crest, Humane Society, mobile meals. Memorial Day flags, enjoy being outside working after sitting in an office all day. All right, those are the top ones there, and then put together a list of all the different events throughout the year and choose which community events we want to volunteer at. So does that mean like you want a list of ideas and then at the beginning of the year, you pick which ones we do?
I think so, to like prioritize you after the year, to have like a vision for the
Okay.
year, to kind of tie the year together.
Okay,
One kind of idea I had too was that whatever the Shark Tank project, gets picked, that could be like our kind of our, one of our primary volunteer,
mhm,
activities for the year, something that we kind of center on for the year, so that it's not just, again, I know we always like try to volunteer once, at least for that, but yeah, make it like an extended thing for the
Yeah.
year, almost like you're voting on the Shark Tank. That's gonna be your year, where you really focus. That's not,
Along with that list, when we were meeting for service committee the other week, they brought up a lot of different ideas that have been done in the past that we aren't able to get to this year. And then like Phil and I also get a bunch of emails from different, like Friends of the Blufflands and just different organizations looking for help. But we're already booked up with so many things and then like still have, lists at each meeting of, hey, can you volunteer for this? And we still have different spots open for, mobile meals this Sunday. So we still have opportunities that we're trying to fill. So something like a list where, like if one year we really want to do different other things because there's a lot of options that we have to volunteer.
Yeah, I guess my thought is you need to prioritize the opportunities we want to, focus on, and then if there's others that we want to help out with what we can. I mean, as a club, we should limit, I guess, monthly what we do, because we burn our members out, right? And decide how many things we volunteer for, and then, I guess it'd be a special. Somebody wanted to bring something in that we don't normally do, a special role or something, I don't know. It's limiting the volunteer opportunities, there's so many that once you get burnt out.
Have you ever done a poll, like, of the current members of, like, and then like the list of choices, but then you vote on which ones you would want to do, and then those are the ones that we sign up for? Have you done that before?
no, not that I know, have we?
After ugly sweater, I like a month off.
We used to do like a membership survey where like people can ideas, but they don't really like. We could do like like we did with New Horizons
Yeah.
and say, hey, in 2 months, these are the options, what do you want to do, and go with that. Cool. All right, so we're running out of time. Bartending, reach out to nonprofits that present at our meetings and ask what events they need volunteers at. Volunteer opportunities that we get paid for, beer and beer, wine and cheese fest, Oktoberfest and Riverfest. So all really good ideas there that service committee will run with.
I think those ones where you pay, or some sort of benefit to the club, because we are gonna, we know we're gonna use those funds in a positive way in the future. I mean, look at the greenhouse, things like that. That green, I mean, bartending is great and we get something for it. I mean, we obviously get money for it, but we give that money towards the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Then we put our name on. That's a permanent thing. No one's gonna remember who volunteered at Oktoberfest bartending last year. But when they walk into that school or the news shows up and they see our logo on that greenhouse, whatever it may be, that's where we start getting our name out there. And start flipping that idea of what Rotary really is. I mean, the mobile, clinic, that thing is a walking billboard and it's amazing. But it's because we branded the hell out of that thing after it was done. And it changes people's impression of what the Rotary is.
Great ideas and thoughts. All right, one last one, then we'll wrap up this piece, is foundation awareness and support. So QR codes there. The two questions that you're gonna prioritize as fast as you can are projects that I would be excited about us funding with our raised money from service events such as like what Ryan was just talking about, that money we get from bartending at Oktoberfest, bingo, ugly sweater, etc. There's some ideas there that might give thought to what we do in the future. Also ways we can collectively select projects, small and big, whether it's $500 or $5,000 that we apply for a district grant that we want to fund with our raised money. So if you can just go through those quick, 3 apiece, then we'll wrap things up. I'll share one last thought on this and then we'll adjourn. Need more time? Neil looks like he's deep in thought. You're good?
We're good.
Everybody good? All right, let's see, so we are going to sort these by likes. Projects that I'd be excited about is funding, school lunch program, pay off lunch accounts, hygiene projects for New Horizons, a non-qualifying grant project such as paint the fears, help with reading. There was something with Children's Miracle Network and elderly community check with RSVP. And then ways we can collectively select projects that we want to fund, continue doing annual Shark Tank event or something similar, brainstorm at club meeting and vote, maybe use Kahoot. Add something to RAH website for money requests. And let's see, better partnerships with our speakers so they can share when they present how we can help support them. All really good ideas on how to use our hard-earned money. So I know we're at time. I don't know if Phil has room in the future, in a future meeting. We ran out of time, which is a good thing, but essentially these are our goals from our 2020 plan. And it'd be nice to align our ideas with goals. If we had time, we'd walk through this and say, these are our goals. Do we want to keep, delete, or revise it? Maybe it's 25% of all prospective members, just kind of tweaking some of those to just give us a framework. Also, what are we missing and what do we need to add? So potentially, if time permits, we'll do that at a future meeting. Or maybe just do one per meeting until we get through all 5 of them. But that's, I think, the only thing we didn't cover. Really appreciate you guys being here and doing that. I think it helps give some focus for our board and our committee leaders and our committees to go forward with. So thank you for your participation there. And with that, I'm going to ask for any closing announcements. I know Lisa has one. So Lisa, the floor is yours.
So I will very quickly say that our exchange student Ida had a soccer game, so she's not here tonight, but our exchange student for next year is going to be a male from Switzerland. We have one host family. Yeah, so Danny is going to be our first host family, so that's awesome. I believe I have our second one, so we just need one more. If you are interested, or if you know anyone else who would be interested in hosting a male from Switzerland, please let them, I will be happy to talk with them. Don't want to volunteer, I'm happy to talk about what the experience is, so we will be working on that.
Does anybody else have any announcements? I saw the Bud Hammis Scholarship got awarded to a student at Boys and Girls Club. We're excited to have Joe back in the RAH family, so Joe, so excited to have you here. That's
proud of my dad.
Dad and his mom set up that scholarship, and I just saw it posted today. It's really cool.
We'll be at the scholarship banquet the week from Sunday.
Okay, and what is the amount that they get?
Enough?
Enough to do
4 years.
4 years. Yeah, it's crazy. That's amazing. So thank you to your dad and your mom's legacy there. So trivia, whoever guessed Ford Mustang was right. It was first revealed on April 17th, 1964.
It cost $2,300. That was pretty.
And with that, we'll close unless anybody else has anything else. No? All right, so of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to call concern? Will Bill Goodwill find a beneficial to all this work? Will it be fun? Thank you, guys.